Hey guys, welcome back to the BuzWeaver channel. Boy, what a snafu today. Apparently GeForce Experience wanted to update and change the whole interface of how I use my recording software, and the mic wasn't working correctly and this, that, and the other. So an hour and a half of battling through it all. And of course, with all new apps, they have to put in step after multiple step, and it's just insane. Anyway, you guys aren't particularly concerned about the pain and suffering I had to go through to get to the video today, but we're going to get to it now. In our top stories from Fox News, Trump teases he'd bail out Harris campaign debts for sake of unity and latest troll. So I thought this was kind of amusing. And, of course, the Harris campaign, as it were, who was not in the primary, of course, she was selected by the establishment uniparty just like Joe Biden was. Well, things are kind of falling apart for him. So let's read it and then we'll watch a video on it. President-elect Trump has repeatedly said he wants to unite the country when he serves his second term as president. On Saturday, he came up with a new idea to do just that, saying he'd pay off the Democrats' debt. So basically, they're in debt now. The Harris Walz campaign is reportedly $20 million in debt, having raised more than $1 billion and had $111 million in the bank as of October 16th, according to Politico report Christopher 𝐀𝐦𝐚𝐳𝐬𝐿. In the name of unity and more likely in epic troll, Trump says people should chip in and bail out the vice president's campaign. So it's more. This is more of the troll action. But what we're going to do is, in just a second, I'm going to show you. We're going to listen to a video. But here is from the what news agency is this? So Washington Minor. Because see, I'm using Ground News, Washington Examiner, and it kind of blocks. So I got to get used to the new interface for it too. Wow, everything's just all new today. So the DNC officials take gloves off of party blast $1 billion disaster campaign. Yeah, so basically what happens is this individual, Lindy Lee, is upset what happened because, you know, there's people that she's responsible for in activities that's supposed to be going on, right? And so here we see the campaign spending. Trump raised $381.54 million. Trump spent $345.42 million. Only $10.4 million was spent on staff, and then Kamala raised $1 billion. And then Kamala spent $1.037 billion, so she obviously went over. And then Kamala spent $582.53 million on staff. Absolutely extraordinary. But guys, let me just set it all aside and let's listen to this. This is absolutely amazing.
Vice President Harris' stunning loss. The former Speaker Nancy Pelosi placing the blame on President Biden and his late exit from the race.
Really?
Pelosi telling the New York Times, quote, "Had the president gotten out sooner, there may have been other candidates in the race." I'm
going to pause that just for a minute. If you guys want to read it on pause on the video side, you can go ahead and see it. So basically, Nancy's just trying to blame Joe Biden, which is, you know, typical. But this is what's important here.
An after analysis here of what happened with the campaign. But first, talk to me about what's going on. You see here Nancy Pelosi making the case to sort of blame Joe Biden, but it's a backhanded compliment because she's blaming Joe Biden for allowing Kamala Harris to be the nominee.
Right. Well, thank you so much for having me. And what's left unsaid is that she is not forcefully saying that Harris would have been the strongest candidate after a rigorous process. She's not saying definitively that it would have been her. She says it might have been her, but, you know, maybe there was an alternative. Maybe it was Josh Shapiro or maybe Gretchen Whitmer, someone who could forcefully litigate the case against Donald Trump. And if you truly believe that Trump is an existential threat, and that's what Democrats have been saying for the past couple of years, then you should have had that process instead of just coronating somebody.
What is the relationship? What has been the relationship throughout the campaign, and what do you think the relationship is today between Biden world and Kamala Harris world?
Well, I have friends, I mean, in both worlds, and let me tell you, the relationship was terrible even before the campaign.
Right,
there was backstabbing. They wanted the White House leaking like a sieve when it came to Kamala Harris. And finally, in the final year, she was able to stabilize and stop the bleeding of her staff because there was a lot of turnover as well. And we saw the press reports about that. And things have finally started to calm down. And I actually think President Biden, you know, the whole endorsing her 30 minutes after he dropped out, I think that was a big FU to the party. You know, you don't want me, here's somebody that you may not like, but deal with it, you know?
Suggesting that he's sticking the party with Kamala
Kind of
Harris.
like sticking it to the man.
Yeah, but, okay, help me understand your perspective on that, because you worked for Kamala Harris.
I didn't. I'm a donor.
You're a donor.
Technically, I mean, you know, I'm not on anyone's payroll. I'm not beholden to anyone. That's why I'm here telling the truth. I'm not here to gaslight anybody. This is just the truth.
And what is the truth?
The truth is this is just an epic disaster. This is a $1 billion disaster. Actually, it was 1,018 million, I think, right? There were 20 million or 18 million dollars in debt.
Right.
It's incredible. And I raised millions of that. I have friends that I have to be accountable to and to explain what happened, because I told them it was a margin of error race. I was promised, Jen O'Malley Dillon promised all of us that Harris would win. She even put videos out saying that Harris would win. I believed her. My donors believed her. And so they wrote massive checks. I feel like a lot of us were misled. And even on the night of election night, Will, I looked somebody in the eye and I said, are we going to do this? Are we going to pull it off? She told me yes. And I asked somebody else, like, how are you feeling? He's like, we're going to win Iowa. And I was like, what?
Do you think, did they believe this going in? Was there a real sense of false confidence on the side of Kamala Harris? Or did they know they were in store for disaster?
You know, I was wondering about that. I was like, I asked them, are you?
All right, so you guys get the point here. And as we have talked about here on the BuzWeaver channel, and we went over this, you know, here I am, a humble, simple YouTube content creator on my little channel, and you know, we looked at the news. This is what we do every day, right? We look at the news and we say, okay, this looks like this is going to happen. This looks like that's going to happen. And it's not like I'm some prophet or some philosopher or anyone who's coming up with these amazing, you know, I'm not reading into a crystal ball and seeing what's going on. We're just looking at the news and seeing the direction, seeing what the opinions of people are and what polling's doing and this, that, and the other. And that's why we used Real Clear Politics, because they aggregate all of the different polls. They don't select different pollings. And like she's saying here, they had all this selectiveness that was going on. They were just, it's as though they could just manifest it, right? It's just as though just they said it, everyone would believe it, right? Listen and obey. And this is the problem that's happening right now with the left. This is why their minds are breaking. This is why they're so upset, is because they were told that Kamala Harris was going to win. And when they're told this and they believe this and they invest money in it, imagine how disappointed they are. Now, we already know the leftists, because of ideology, philosophy, and worldview, they're upset. But imagine you investing thousands or millions of dollars waiting for a return on value and it doesn't happen. I mean, this is a disaster. The whole thing is a disaster. And we've talked about it here on the BuzWeaver channel. The establishment uniparty hijacked our culture, hijacked our institutions, and hijacked our justice system. And they used it all against their political enemies. Whether it's on social media, whether it was in law. We saw them go after Donald Trump. We saw them going after Roger Stone. We saw them going after Steve Bannon. We saw them going after Navarro. We saw them going after anybody and everybody that was not in line with them, including Elon Musk, because they're going after Elon now as well. It's absolutely extraordinary. And, of course, these cases need to be all dismissed. But I wanted to bring this to you guys because this is an absolute disaster by the Democrats. This was an absolute, complete failure on their part. And so she came out and explained it to everybody. And, you know, exactly what was going on. This is Lindy Lee, man. She's very brave to come out and speak to this, considering the amount of money these donors gave. But she's absolutely correct. But I want to get your thoughts down in the comments below. Wow, could we have anticipated that it had been this bad? I mean, the victory was amazing, but this is extraordinarily bad. But I want to thank all you guys across New Tech, that's BitChute, Rumble, and Odyssey, for your guys' continued support. I want to thank all of you guys, of course, here on YouTube for your guys' continued support. Likes, the shares, and the comments do help out the channel. But, of course, down below the video, you can find the various social media links that I belong to. You can follow me there, as well as affiliate marketing links that also help out the channel. But that's up to you guys. If you guys want to decide to utilize any of those links to place your orders on Amazon and or even get a VPN. So all that's very greatly appreciated. And I'll see all you guys, well, appearing there on the screen, of course, is the channel icon. You guys can click on that to subscribe, as well as to select notification if you're watching here on YouTube. And I'll see all you guys in the next video.